Gabriela Diaz is a San Francisco woman who is young and ambitious. Gabriela is completely consumed by her career, putting in long hours at a corporate job while aspiring to success. Her life, however, takes an unexpected turn when she abruptly loses her work when it folds. In the same week, she also breaks up with Dean, her unreliable boyfriend of more than 2 years, who leaves her with nothing. After consuming a lot of wine and being frustrated, Gabriela enters an online competition to win an inn in the Belbird Valley region of New Zealand. Participants in the competition must submit an essay outlining their case for winning the inn. Gabriela enters the contest wildly and puts her whole heart into the essay because she is excited about the possibility of a new beginning. The next morning, she is shocked to find out that she wins upon checking notifications from her phone, and then her life takes a dramatic and unexpected turn. Gabriela decides to take a leap of faith and travel to New Zealand with a mixture of enthusiasm and uncertainty. When she arrives in Belbird Valley, she is welcomed by breathtaking vistas, charming towns, kind locals, and Jake Taylor. When Gabriela arrives in Belbird Valley, she is confronted with the truth about the state of the inn. The building is attractive but severely in need of repairs. She learns that the abandoned and far-off Belbird Valley farm is home to a floorboard trampling goat named Gilbert, an intrusive local neighbor. An innkeeper, Gabriela is visited by Charlotte, the proprietor of the lone B&B in the community, who informs her that the former owner's great-grandson entered the home in the win-in competition to get rid of it. She advised Gabriela to call her at any point if she wanted to give up on repairing the inn because it might be necessary to hire someone with her own innkeeping experience. Gabriela puts on her apron and gets to work on the difficult process of bringing the inn back to its former splendor, determined to make the most of her unanticipated opportunity. She discovers she has a plumbing issue in the kitchen the following morning, so she uses the 1960s Land Rover to travel into town. When Gabriela gets to the hardware, she asks Norm if he knows of any contractors. Norm then mentions Jake. She rejected this notion right away because she had already been into arguments with Jake twice, and both were bad. Gabriela chooses to perform an eco-renovation to repair the inn after examining the designs. She made friends with Shelley, the business owner, while purchasing plants from the neighborhood nursery. They were connected. They came across Charlotte while searching for plants. She extends a tea invitation to Gabriela and mainly wants to ask her about the renovation. She submits an offer for the property and explains that she was duped out of her chance to own the town's inns. After spending time in the cafe during the rugby night, Gabriela quickly discovers that she has made friends with Jake Taylor, the owners of the cafe, Shelley from the garden center, and Dr. Corey. When word gets out that she has a cold, they show up in droves to assist her. As Gabriela grows closer to Jake, she learns that he is the only restoration expert in the adjacent town, a single man who lost his longtime lover 3 years ago, and the chief volunteer fireman. Jake and Gabriela decide to split the project's workload equally. Under Gabriela and Jake's guidance, the inn and their relationship start to take shape. A deeper bond develops over time as a result of their humorous exchanges, amicable laughing, and vulnerable times. Jake's rugged appeal and sincere enthusiasm for his work captivate Gabriela. Jake is enthralled by Gabriela's tenacity and unshakable spirit. In the meantime, they engage in impromptu escapades, share secret moments under starlit skies, and gradually lower their guards to show who they really are. However, as their affections for one another become stronger, problems arise that endanger the inn and their newfound romance. She receives a call during this time with a job offer. Jake leaves upset when Gabriela says she's considering it. Gabriela is hesitant to leave when the last fixture is hung. Her relationships with Jake, the inn, and the warm neighborhood that encouraged her creative side cause her to seriously rethink leaving. After Charlotte invited Dean through SMS using Gabriela's phone, Dean traveled all the way from the US. When Dean appears out of the blue, Gabriela begins to chat to Jake about her uncertainties. He arranges a lucrative financial deal to purchase the inn with a Melbourne, Australia investment firm. Charlotte is surprised because she had intended to purchase the Belbird Valley farm herself, and had assumed that Gabriela would be forced to leave the property and move back to the city if Dean had suddenly shown there. At the open house, Gabriela and Jake tour prospective guests through the inn while describing its eco-friendly features and highlighting each other's contributions. It is regarded as an act of love. Dean pressures them to accept the high offer made by the Australian company. As he does this, Shelley follows Jake outside. Shelley persuades Jake to discuss his feelings with Gabriela. Before he can, though, a fire at Charlotte's B&B calls in the entire town's volunteer fire department. Jake narrowly escapes death while rescuing a visitor. Charlotte abruptly entered the room while the conversation with the Australian company was still going on and claimed she had called Dean while posing as Gabrielle. She requests from Gabriela that the Belbird Valley farm not be sold. In the end, Gabriela gives up her life in San Francisco to stay in the neighborhood and manage the inn alongside Jake.